First of all, we need to get something out of the way. Alright, I've never reviewed books before, but so what does one do? What does one do when they do not know how to review? I googled how do you review books? I need to make sure I'm in focus. Am I in focus? I'm in focus. Am I in focus? I'm in focus. Am I in focus? We are going to review, or rather I'm going to review, White Teeth by Zadie Smith. But if I were to go off the format of the reviews I saw, then we need to begin with stating the obvious. This book is very long. This is a long book, guys. This is a really long book. Okay, this is a really girthy read. The most simple explanation I can give is that this book follows two families and the relationship between that family through the men, Samad and Archie. That is true. This book is very long. There are a lot of characters, you know what I mean? But I'm trying to bring my virtue of patience into a lot of things in my life, and you know, books are no exception. It takes a long time to get to the point because I think she's trying to, that is how history works, and that is how time works. You meet these seemingly unrelated factors in your life. I met this one person this one time, and you think that it'll never come back around and hit you in the face, and it does. Are you gonna have a seamless story to tell when things like that happen? Absolutely not, and that's how you get books like this. I think that was one of the most realistic factors of this book, through these two families in a more realistic way, because when you read about history and you're reading about colonialism, it's in these large historical, not like non-fiction, historical-esque history books, text, you know, a phone book-esque, you know, and it dehumanizes it because you got a bunch of dates. This person to this person that date, and this war happened that time, and this is how many people died. It's not talking about, well, what is it like to try to raise a family without giving that heavy colonial history, or forcing them to understand that colonial history, where they have no clean slate compared to the contemporary, the idealized English, the white English. The perceptions of what it means to be English are different when you're looking from the outside. As an American, we see English as like these very posh, very educated, you know, oh my god, the queen. Process, man. I learned a lot through this book, and like I said, you know, the Indian Mutiny of 1857, or the Indian Revolution that failed, or 1857 is an historical event that I don't believe I've ever really learned about. So it's an exploration of two families, it's an exploration of extremes and how those families overcorrect or undercorrect for their colonial roots. But I'm always with the aim of learning more. And I definitely think in our present time as it is, books and reading are a way of humanizing each other. Because there's no way for any of us to meet every kind of variety of human being on this planet. But I believe that delving into literature, delving into art and film, or any manner of presentation of humanity brings us that much closer to not being a dick on a global scale and reducing people to our fears. And that's how I enjoyed this book. Yeah, I got a different cultural take on what English means. And if that's something that piques your interest, then I suggest that you give White Teeth a read. Yeah, for sure.